Hello, my name is Carolyn Roshti, and my topic is the ignorance that is deliberately promoted through censorship by the mass media for the control of the populace by industrial and corporate giants. For a number of years, I've been concerned about a vital component in our democracy, a free press that isn't free anymore. Here's a summarized version, edited by me, of a column that speaks of my concern. It's titled Dan Rather's Magnum Opus and was written by William Rivers Pitt on September 26, 2007. It can be read in full in truthout.org online. Dan Rather, a TV journalist, gave a report on CBS Nightly News September 2004 which documented George Bush's poor performance and absences in the Texas Air National Guard in the 1970s. CBS denied responsibility of the report's accuracy, and Dan Rather self-deprecatingly resigned. But recently, Mr. Rather has filed a lawsuit against his former employer, CBS, and its parent company, Viacom, regarding these transactions. Here are the realities of modern American journalism that have little to do with the original conception of the institution of freedom of the press. Quote, "The only security of all," wrote Tom Jefferson in 1823, "is in a free press," unquote. American democracy ceases to function when people base their voting on disinformation and hypocrisy. That is the name of today's press. Today, a confederation of profit-seeking businesses own every significant print and broadcast news outlet. NBC, MSNBC, and CNBC all championed the Iraq War because they are owned by huge defense contractor General Electric Media and Time Warner, parent company of CNN, HBO, Warner Brothers, AOL, Time, and People magazines, and dozens more. Thus, these media are made incapable of providing objective reporting that is contrary to the Bush administration's concepts. Recently, the Huffington Post online had an article about J.P. Morgan Chase, who does extensive business in the Middle East, announcing its $200 million investment in the movie industry, a rather influential media. I decided to include that article in this commentary, but when I went back to it a few hours later, the article had been removed. I wonder why. Mass media often neglects reporting important activities, such as in January 2007, when half a million American citizens, an activist surge of monumental proportions, literally encircled the Capitol building in Washington, D.C. in an anti-war protest. This was barely reported in nationwide newspapers, not even in the New York Times. The simplest way of defeating activists. This hobbling of vital news produces serious results, such as crippling side effects of well-hyped but poorly tested pharmaceuticals, of which I've been a victim, or the abuse of workers in third world sweatshops, or thousands of dead fish rotting downstream from a coal plant, or deceptions that led to a failed war and thousands of dead and maimed Americans and Iraqis. Especially since 9/11, to curry favor with the administration, the mainstream news media has systematically attacked and debased the ordinary common sense and sound judgment of Americans to create a population of frightened and easily led dupes. One of the most unspeakable crimes ever committed against the citizens of this country. This strategic use of fear, initiated by the Bush administration, continues to increase the power and influence of mass media. Now, Dan Rather participated in this kind of journalism for years, and so cannot be considered a saint or a martyr. But because he is now divulging what he came to know through his complicity, He's a menace to the mainstream news industry. He is still a concerned and legendary reporter who has spent decades doing his job like few others, while bullets flew past his head, or tied to a tree in a hurricane, or chasing down stories, often on foot. He helped guide this country through catastrophes like Kennedy's assassination, Watergate, and 9/11. He's paid his dues. So this will be his final broadcast of sorts. One last story filed to report the truth about what journalism has become. All is not lost, however, and thanks to creative, intelligent, and courageous Americans, alternate sources of news have been increasing in availability. Here are some of the best independent media sites I've found available on the web. Just Google them. Media Matters, Color Lines Magazine, In These Times, Mother Jones, Talking Points Memo, Tom Dispatch, Truth Dig, Truth Out, Alternate, Center for Constitutional Rights, and 911 Truth Seekers. I hope they offer you information that will increase your knowledge, stimulate your determination as a citizen, and strengthen your pride as an American. My name is Carolyn Roshti, and this has been my commentary.